It's officially spring. It's time to break out some color. Everything is in bloom, including my makeup. So let's get into this very beautiful spring inspired makeup look. Hey beauties, welcome back and happy spring. Yay, we have finally turned the corner from a long cold winter into a hot spring because it's really hot outside. So today we're going to be doing some spring inspired makeup. As you can see, pretty cute and colorful if I do say so myself, but still wearable as well. So we're going to do some colorful makeup today just to give spring its time to shine and welcome in the new season. If you're new here, hey, my name is Lydia Marie. I do a lot of makeup for women over 40, but everybody is welcome here, girl. So come on and join the beauty family. Also, this video will be a talk over. As I started to get into the video, the construction noise outside my window was really interrupting the audio. So this will be a talk through video, a voiceover video. I hope you don't mind it. Thank you for bearing with me. We're going to get it done either way. So let's go ahead and get into this very beautiful, if I say so myself, spring colorful look. Alright, first of all, we're starting off with skin prep as usual. My Clinique Moisture Surge along with this Clinique Moisture Surge spray. It is so very nice and hydrating. I did my brows with my Benefit Brow Pencil in the shade Ebony, and then I did a little bit of the ABH Brow Freeze just on top just to kind of tame them down a little bit. And here you can see that I thought my audio was working and it wasn't. So I'm continuing on with the skin prep with the Danessa Myricks. This is the Radiant Finish Yummy Skin Blurring Balm. I have to say I'm kind of still on the fence with this about how it mixes with some of my foundations. But it is a very good primer and a good beginning to this particular makeup look. I decided for this look that we're going to do some underpainting, which is just basically putting the contour, bronzer, blush, and concealer underneath the foundation. So we'll see how this holds up with this particular makeup look. And I'm using my Huda Beauty color corrector in the shade Mango. This one is almost finished. Or is it Peach? I'm sorry, not Mango. This one is almost finished, but it's been a pretty effective color corrector for the time that I've had it. I will switch to a deeper shade once the summer hits and I'm a little more tan. With color corrector, you want to make sure that you're tapping it into place. You're not swirling it or moving it around because it's really just meant to cover the area that you want to conceal or what have you. And color corrector is simply something that you use to neutralize any redness or brown spots, etc. So if you're my shade or a little bit darker than me, you want to choose something that's more salmon colored. If you're a deeper skin tone, you want to go for something that's more orange or like a deep mango shade. That will really help in canceling out any dark spots due to acne. And so after that, I'm going to go in with my Fenty stick in the shade, I believe this is Truffle. This is the darker shade. And I'm just doing the bronzer and contour situation, like I said, first because we're underpainting. I put the bronzer up just a little bit higher to really get some good sculpting going on. And I'm also going to put it in my normal places, which is around my forehead and on my nose. Before I blend that out, I'm going in with the full coverage concealer first. And this is the new Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Concealer. I have the shade 9.5. You guys, I have absolutely been loving this concealer. It looks like when I wear it for touch-ups that I just have like a flawless face. Like it is really full coverage. It's really, really, really a good concealer. I'm quite impressed. So when I start to do my underpainting, I blend from darkest to lightest. So I'm going to blend out the bronzer contour first, and I'm really just trying to tap it into place without dragging it down my face. I didn't do a great job here, but that's okay. We can always correct it. And I'm just going to continue to blend in the bronzer first before I blend in the concealer. The bronzer and contour really give your face the shape that you're looking for. So then I'm going to take the little brush and just blend in my nose contour or my nose bronzer and just really start to get the shape underneath before we again add any type of foundation. Now with a fluffy concealer brush, I'm going to start tapping in that full coverage concealer from Charlotte Tilbury, starting with the areas that need the least coverage, which is around my chin and around my mouth. I'm just doing this for highlighting purposes, really, but then I'm going to start to blend it out under my eye, and I let it sit for a few minutes to really let it marinate and do its thing. With this concealer, you really don't need a lot, and I keep putting on too much of this concealer, not remembering that you really just need a dot or two, but it really blends out beautifully, so I'm not too worried about it. It's just a really great concealer. For the first blush, I'm using the shade Bubbly from LYS Beauty. This is one of their cream blushes. Really my favorite color from them. It's so nice and glowy, and it just blends out. It has a lot of pigment, but it blends out kind of sheer once you start to really blend it, and it gives you a nice, healthy, radiant glow. Right about here, I noticed that I did not blend that concealer over my eyebrow, girl. Let me go handle that, and we will get back to the regularly scheduled program. For foundation, I'm using the Natural Finish Makeup by Mario foundation. I have the shade 17.5. I really do still enjoy this foundation, and I took about a pump, not using a lot at all, and I'm really taking a moment to share it out on the back of my hand because we already have on a lot of our product already. So I just wanted to tap it into the areas where I need it the most, which is always around my cheek and chin area. This is where I want to focus the foundation. Now, you're probably thinking, why did you do all of that work with all those products and then put foundation? But you'll see that my skin is still sculpted. I still have the contour, the bronzer, and the blush, etc. And the foundation over it is just really bringing everything together. It's a really good way to not have to use so much foundation or product and really just give your face a more natural appearance versus putting on the blush, contour, bronzer, etc. over your foundation. That's really the basis of underpainting. For a little bit of more brightness under my eye, I'm going to be taking the Morphe Wake Up Artist Concealer. I believe this is in the shade Golden, and this is just a little bit of brightness. I let it sit for about a minute, and I'm tapping it in with a beauty blender because I don't need extra coverage. I just really like the brightness of the under eye, so that's why I use this more hydrating concealer over top the Charlotte Tilbury concealer just for a little bit more brightness and a little bit more highlighting to really play up the areas that I want to highlight and give a little bit more structure. So this is what we're looking like initially. And again, this is after the underpainting. You can still see that I have nice structure to my face, but it still looks nice and natural. Now I'm going to go in with this Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Powder. I have really been enjoying this powder. I cannot believe that I waited so long to try it. I just thought it would be too cakey and drying under my under eye, but the blurring action on this is absolutely spectacular. And you can get a small one because I understand that these last a really long time. So I had no problem buying a smaller version of it, especially because I wanted to try it out. And I got the shade, I believe it's medium. I'll link it below, but it is such a pretty powder and it lays so well under my foundation. You guys know I'm going to go ahead and melt everything together with my Milani spray, and let's get into some eyeshadow. For the main palette, I'm using the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. I'm using these two pink shades. One is Carpe Diem and one is Eternity. I really love this palette. I think out of all the Denona palettes, this is my favorite one because I love the pinks and purples in here. So I'm using these two pinks just to create kind of a transition shade, and I'm popping them right in my crease. So when you create your crease color, you want to make sure to keep your eyes open and look straight ahead. That way you know you're getting the crease or the transition shade really precise. So I'm just blending those two pink shades in together. These colors blend out so well. Again, that's one thing Natasha Denona really does well is her eyeshadow formula. So they're really pigmented. You don't need a lot, but I really just wanted to start with a nice pink look versus something brown. And I was originally going to go with something pink and purple because I'm thinking, you know, spring, bright colors, etc. But we decided to go with this pink one. And we're going to use the Danessa Myricks Lightwork 6 palette. This is the one before the new one that she just released earlier or late last year. This is the one with all the shimmers, and I'm going in with this gorgeous pink. It kind of looks pink, but in the pan it looks purple, and I'm just tapping it in. This is not an extra glittery shade in this palette, but I just love that it's kind of like a duochrome, that it looks like a different color depending on which way you're looking at it. So straight ahead, it looks pink. When I turn my eye to the side, it's giving more purple, but this is really going to be a really nice color all over my eyelid. Instead of going in with a deeper pink, I decided to go with this fun green color. I haven't worn a green eyeshadow in a really long time. Green eyeshadow looks amazing with brown eyes. So if you have brown eyes, consider checking out a green eyeshadow. But I just wanted to pop this right in the corner to kind of give it a little depth to that pink. And I'm also keeping it under the crease, so it's really right against my lash line. And just a little fun pop of green in the corner. I really could have used my fingers, but I'm just using a small blending brush to kind of give it a little bit more punch. But this green shade is so, so pretty. I haven't used this Lightwork 6 palette in a very long time, but I do love every single shade of the shimmers in here, and this green just really kind of sets off the pink really nicely. It's just a nice little contrast, and green just screams spring, right? So I'm going to dip back into the Natasha Denona palette, those same pink shades, and I'm just going to go ahead and buff those colors around that green to kind of blend everything together, make it look a little bit more seamless. When you have some brighter colors, you want to make sure you go back in with your transition shade, a nice fluffy brush, and just kind of blend everything back together and just make it look nice and flawless. For my second blush, I'm using the classic shade from MAC in the shade Peachy Keen. This is a really, really pretty peach pink shade, and I actually found this at Marshall's. You know, MAC blushes are normally, what, $26, $27? I found this at Marshall's for $16, and I've never had this shade in MAC blush, so I picked it up, and it is gorgeous, a perfect color for the spring. It does have a teeny tiny bit of a metallic finish, nothing too crazy. It's not glittery. It's just a really, really pretty pink blush, and I'm doing the draping method with the blush and bringing it up towards my temple. So from my cheekbones to my temple, when you wear your blush like that, that is called the draping method. And because this color is not super pigmented, it's just a really pretty nice pinch of pink, I figured I can get away with a little bit more powder blush, even though I already have on the cream blush, and it looks great. I'm going to finish everything out with my Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. Today I used the shade Almond, and I'm going to clean up those little areas of fallout with my eyeshadow with this powder. Instead of adding more concealer, I'm just going to tap a little bit of powder over the wing of my eyeshadow so it'll give it a nice clean look and really dust away some of that excess glitter. That's a quick way you can fix it if you kind of go overboard and mess up your eyeshadow without adding any extra product. Just go over it with your powder brush. So I'm just finishing off the rest of my face with my Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. We're going to do some mascara. I'm using my favorite mascara. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. And then we're moving on to the lips. For the lips, I'm using the shade Makeup Talk from Morphe as my lip liner. It's a pretty neutral pink, almost a little bit brown. It has some brown undertones to it because we're going to do a vibrant lip to go along with this vibrant eye look. So I'm using a pretty muted lip liner to start. For my lip color, I'm using the shade Pop Star Pink from MAC. It is a very, very pretty pink shade, but I want to keep it a little tame. So I'm going to apply it with a lip brush. Well, this is an eyeshadow brush, but we're going to use it as a lip brush. So I'm going to apply it in layers with the lip brush so as I can build it up to the vibrancy that I want, because I really want the eyes to remain the focus, but I still want a pop of color. So I'm just dipping into this Satin Formula lipstick and just applying it in layers. I'm not applying it right over the lip liner. I just kind of want to build it up to the opacity of the pink that I really want it to be. But that color It was so hard not to just slather it on because this is one of my favorite pinks from MAC. It has kind of replaced my Girl About Town that they no longer make, but it's just such a pretty purplish kind of fuchsia shade. Then I'm going to top it all off with the Nymphette gloss from MAC. This is the Nymphette lip glass from MAC, and that is going to be the final touch for my lips. So beauties, this is the final look, my version of a colorful but still easy to achieve, a very pretty springtime inspired makeup look. I'm really loving this lip combo. I love that color Pop Star Pink. It is very vibrant and I love to wear it on its own, but when you want to tame it down a little, like I wanted to tame it down so the eyes can continue to be the focus. I didn't go super heavy with the liner because my eyes are mad itchy right now. Thanks, pollen. But this is the pretty springtime Easter bunny egg, whatever you want to call it, type of makeup look. I just felt like playing in some color. Thank you again for bearing with me during the voiceover. Of course, when I'm done filming, the noise has stopped, but it's subject to pick up any moment now, like it's round the clock. So thank you so much. If you made it this far in the video, you know what to do, girl. Give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Consider joining the beauty family. Everything that I use will be linked down below. The only product that's no longer available is the Danessa Myricks product, that eyeshadow palette, because we all know those are limited edition. But this, by far, is my favorite Natasha Denona palette. So if you want a little pop of color and some nice pink shades, etc., consider picking this one up as well. Thanks again for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed this, and I'll see you back here for the next video very soon. Bye!